Coming up on this edition of ATV News.
I just think they should pick Utah because why wouldn't they? Greatest snow on earth.
The Olympics are on their way back to Utah. We'll bring you reaction as it comes in.
Experts say you spend $1,300 a year on food you throw away. I'll show you how you can prevent food waste.
We all raise our voices together. We are one.
Those voices numbered in the thousands. We'll take you where it's okay to sing along with the pros.
Cache Valley has been under a code blue warning this week. In weather, I'll show you what that means and if it's sticking around.
In sports, I made a list of some of the things our team should be grateful for and one present I would give to each of those teams for the holidays.
All that and more, this is ATV News.
From the campus of Utah State University in Logan, Utah, the Department of Journalism and Communication presents the award-winning newscast, ATV News.
I think Utah is a perfect place. It'd be fun to have all that back in the area.
I just think they should pick Utah because why wouldn't they? Greatest snow on earth.
People across the state are reacting to this morning's announcement that the Olympics may come back to Utah. Welcome to this edition of ATV News. I'm Ryan Lawrenson. Joining us live from the ATV newsroom to give us more on this breaking news is Zahara Nasir. Zara?
That's right, Ryan. As you can see on all these computers, this is big news for Utah. The International Olympic Committee announced their plans for their 2030 and 2034 Olympics today.
The Executive Board today followed the recommendation of the Future Host Commission to invite the French Alps and Salt Lake City, Utah, into respective targeted dialogues to host the Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games 2030 and 2034.
For the first time since 2002, Utah would see Olympic events and scenes like this when Czech skier Ales Valenta landed a quintuple twist, and people are getting really excited already. Salt Lake City Mayor Erin Mendenhall said on X that Utah has Olympics in its DNA. Governor Spencer Cox said that Utah is ready, excited, and prepared to host the Olympic Games again. And Salt Lake City Mayor Mendenhall says the announcement feels so good. Reporting to you live in the newsroom, back to you at the desk, Ryan.
Thanks, Zahara. See you back in the studio soon. How much of last night's dinner did you throw away? ATV's Anna Johnson tells you how you can keep more of your food from going to waste.
Thanksgiving dinner is all wrapped up. Now, what are you going to do with all that food? What you throw away is called food waste, the focus of Utah State University's Food Rescue Work Group.
The majority of food waste that happens in the U.S. is at the level of the consumer, which includes both waste in the home as well as waste that comes from cafeterias, restaurants.
Event catering from USU's dining services would be food waste if not for
student volunteers and AmeriCorps members working and building a great relationship with USU dining services to make sure that the food that would otherwise go in the dumpster goes over to the Student Nutrition Access Center.
Durward says they're working with campus organizations to get food into mouths instead of compost bins or the trash.
We're just trying to get edible food into the hands of people who can use it.
Putting your leftovers away in the fridge is the first step to keep them out of the trash, Durward says. So how can you prevent your fridge from filling up with containers of uneaten food?
Plan out your meals for the week before you go grocery shopping.
And if that best by date on your food makes you want to throw it away,
we think of them as expiration dates, but that's not what those dates mean. After that date, the food has not gone bad. It might be lower quality after that date, but you can still totally eat it if it looks the way that you expect it to look.
Dammit says changing your food habits can have a broader impact on the environment and your future health. Anna Johnson, ATV News.
The Food Recovery Work Group is still looking for members. They're planning their first meeting for January.
New legislation passed earlier this year in Action for Winter to help protect and house people from severe weather conditions. Utah House Bill 499 says when temperatures are predicted to reach 15 degrees Fahrenheit, including a wind chill for 2 hours or more over a 24-hour period, a code blue alert will go out to affected counties. Homeless shelters can increase capacity limits up to 35%. Police cannot enforce camping regulations or confiscate anything that could help a person stay warm. More information is available on the Utah Department of Health and Human Services website. A code blue alert issued Sunday is expected to continue throughout tonight. A temporary warming center opened in North Logan to fill in for the WAB warming center that opens next week. Just off 200 East in North Logan, the temporary warming center is set up in the Veterans Resource Center. It came together Monday evening. One organizer said they contacted WAB Warming Center volunteers set to start next week and asked if they could help.
It was kind of overwhelming. I received so many texts during the day saying, where do you need me? What time do you need me? I'll be there.
For people with nowhere to go tonight, you can get warm at the Veterans Resource Center, open tonight, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Thursday morning.
If you have peaches, plums, or nectarines that you bought between May and November of 2022 and 2023, you may need to throw them away. HMC Farms recalled the stone fruits November 17th after 11 people across 7 states got sick with listeriosis, and the FDA found listeria in a sample of HMC's peaches. The CDC says 10 people were hospitalized and they say 1 person died. The CDC says listeria is especially harmful to people who are pregnant, newborns, people aged 65 or older, and people with weakened immune systems. They say listeriosis symptoms can show up the same day or take up to 10 weeks. Visit the CDC's website to learn more about signs and symptoms. Officials say if you have symptoms, you should contact your healthcare provider to report them and receive care. Officials say the recalled fruit are expired and are no longer available in stores. If you have recalled fruit in your refrigerator or freezer, officials say to throw them away and disinfect any surfaces the fruit touched. The fruit were sold in HMC Farms branded bags and Signature Farms branded bags. They were also sold individually with number-coded stickers. Officials say the recalled fruit were sold at Walmart, Sam's Club, Albertsons, and Sprouts Farmers Market, amongst others.
A woman was knocked to the ground this morning by a vehicle on 700 East, 800 North. According to radio traffic, she was able to get up on her own. This was minor compared to other collisions between vehicles and people. I spoke to people walking and driving to find out what scares them the most when sharing roads. Driving while using your phone is one way you can get a ticket in Utah. It's against the law, and so is jaywalking.
If someone is jaywalking, no car should stop and let them jaywalk, because they're not supposed to be doing that anyways, and then it just is confusing and awkward.
Pressing the call button, then waiting to cross on the crosswalk is how you can avoid jaywalking. For roads like this, you just have to press the button. That will start the flashing lights and let drivers know to stop because you are crossing the road. Drivers say driving during the daytime is easier even with jaywalkers. They say sharing the road with pedestrians at nighttime is what requires extra caution.
When it's dark and lights are blinding you a little bit sometimes, and people dress dark colors, then it might be, dangerous. So I have an eye for pedestrians.
3 weeks ago, Utah Highway Patrol reported a woman dead in Logan after being hit by a car in the evening. Another woman was killed last year in a wheelchair crash. In total, UDOT reported 320 people dead in road-related accidents in 2022. While driving to your destinations, USU Chief of Police asks you to stay focused on the road. He reminds you to signal when turning, follow traffic laws, and watch out for each other.
A new lawsuit filed Monday says Attorney General Sean Reyes and founder of Operation Underground Railroad Tim Ballard tried to silence people speaking out in a case against his organization. OUR says it's a nonprofit organization that is against child sexual exploitation and human trafficking. The initial lawsuit from October 9th accuses Ballard of sexually assaulting women OUR would hire to help in their operations. In response to the initial lawsuit against Ballard, the Attorney General's office said, quote, had he known of such alleged behavior, he would have strongly condemned such actions. In the new lawsuit filed Monday, plaintiff Suzanne Whitehead accuses Reyes, Ballard, and OUR of suppressing free speech and working together to silence her. The lawsuit also claims Reyes wrote himself into a scene for Ballard's planned sequel to his film Sound of Freedom, which Angel Studios released in July this year.
Joining us now is Anna Johnson with ATV Weather.
Anna, what do we have coming up?
Well, I'll let you know. Coming up. But first, take a look at this little squirrel getting ready for winter. I'm also getting ready for winter, but check out that blue sky right behind his little white tummy. Now, I'll let you know if we've got more of those blue skies coming up. The current temperature is 40 degrees. And after weather,
this music in particular, I love for the music itself.
We'll show you what composition had thousands of people joining the Utah Symphony Chorus.
They won't kick anybody out before the holidays.
How much longer can you shop at the Cache Valley Mall? We'll show you coming up.
It was after shooting with your phone that you wanted to up your game, so you got a better camera. But your shots were shaky, so you got a tripod. But your audio was fuzzy, so you got a mic. But your shots were dark, so you got some lights. Now you got all this equipment, but you don't know how to use it. So you enrolled in Intro to Video.
Do you want to work in social media, sports, creative video, event planning, or philanthropy? All of this comes from a public relations degree. The demand for PR graduates continues to be strong. With good paying jobs everywhere, PR professionals are able to work in every kind of organization, giving you the opportunity to work in environments that are challenging, rewarding, and fun, as well as on important issues and causes that you care about. Make a difference.
Welcome to ATV Weather. I'm Anna Johnson. Let's take a look at our national radar to see what's going on. If we take a look at the East Coast, you can see there's a lot of snow and rain coming in Canada, New York, a little bit in Pennsylvania. We're not seeing so much of that here in Utah. You can see there's not a ton happening over us. But if you take a look at the West Coast over California, you'll see this small area of precipitation developing. Now that looks like it may turn into some more storms that we'll see later this week, but I'll have more on that in a bit. Let's jump into the state radar. Now over Utah, there are a couple little tiny things going on, and we can see those now. There's a little bit of precipitation right over central Utah. Now that's just some spotted showers, a little bit of cloud cover over the state. So let's take a look outside. Now, the National Weather Service warned us earlier this week about the inversion settling in, and we can see a band of that happening right across Cache Valley. Now, that has been clearing up my lungs, but if we take a look up Logan Canyon, it gets even worse. Look at the haze. You can barely even see the peak of the mountain up here with a little bit of snow that we got earlier this week. Now, we're seeing that smog, but we're also seeing some really cold temperatures. We talked about that code blue earlier, and I'll talk a little bit more about what we're going to see going into this week. Now, these red areas, that does include Cache County. It also includes Box Elder County up here in the north. Those are areas that are currently under that code blue status, which means we're expecting temperatures with a wind chill to be at or below 15 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. These green areas were recently under that code blue status, but are no longer. The gray areas have not been in that status. Now, if we look into tomorrow, a couple of those places are going to change. You'll see up here in Cache County and Box Elder, we're no longer going to be in that code blue status. We'll see a little bit warmer temperatures overnight, but not by too much. And then across eastern Utah, we are still going to be in that area. Now, on December 1st, moving into the final month of the year, southern Utah is going to start to see those cold blue statuses with those freezing temperatures overnight. Now, let's check out our 7-day forecast to see exactly what that is going to look like. Now, if we check out the weather today, we've got a high of 40 degrees and a low of 20. Now, that 20 seems a little bit weird because we just talked about that code blue status. We have to remember that does include a wind chill. So with that wind chill, we'll be hitting that 15 degrees Fahrenheit mark and entering into that code blue status. Moving into the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, into Saturday, this is that storm that I talked about right over California. Could push in through Utah. We've got a 35% chance of some snow coming in. Hopefully that's going to help us clear out some of that inversion, some of that smog. But if it's not a strong enough storm, we might not see that. Moving into the beginning of next week and the end of this weekend, there is a chance for a little bit more snow on Sunday with a high of 36 and a low of 29. Moving into the beginning of next week, it warms up just a tiny bit into the very low 40s with those lows in the low 30s. Now you are all caught up in weather. Back to you at the desk, Ryan.
Thanks, Anna. Logan City is planning on tearing down the Cache Valley Mall. Guest photojournalist Henry Lopez Ortiz brings you to one of the shops we won't be able to visit much longer and lets them tell you their outlook.
The fun has doubled. I started Fun Unlimited back in 1992 in Idaho Falls. I started one here in Logan in 93 here at the mall, Cache Valley Mall. Right now there's about 10 to 15 of us in the mall still that have no place to go. What the city guy says is that they won't kick anybody out before the holidays, but they want to start demolishing the mall March 1st. But I figured when they said that I could be kicked out within 60 days, it was like it's happened over the last 30 years. They'll just move me to another place, not actually demolish the mall. That has never been one of the things that anybody's ever really proposed. And it's sad because the store's still doing great. People coming in all the time. The place is hopping and busy. So that's why I'm hoping the Ogden and Provo one will be a cushion in case it doesn't.
This store, up until about 3 months ago, was ran by one of my dad's old friends. It is rough with the one in Logan getting shut down, so we have to figure out how to get all that stuff out of there. And this spot isn't super huge, so we can't hold near as much as we can in Logan. It's the same with Provo. It's even smaller than this one. Logan, pretty much everybody knows the store, so we have a lot of people that come into the store asking a lot of questions about, honestly, anything in the valley. People here in Ogden and Provo don't know us near as well as the people in Cache Valley, so we need to grow and get the name out a little more.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. You guys have a good
It's been kind of a rough go because we've had lots of other things get in our way from getting down there, and it's far enough away too so it hasn't had a great start, but we're trying to get the inventory down there as fast as we can, because that way when I finally move from here, I only have to move about half as much stuff, because we have about 500,000 items in here. And so trying to get all that moved and keep it somewhat in order is going to be a beast to do. You know, no idea what'll happen. There's just no guarantees.
Logan City is planning on building a 150,000 square foot building on the mall's lot.
Do you remember the last time you logged into your Google account? If it was more than 2 years ago, you're at a risk of losing your data. Google is deleting unused accounts starting Friday, December 1st. The company announced the inactive account policy update in May. Google officials say inactive accounts are at a greater risk to be hacked because they say these accounts have more old or reused passwords and they aren't set up with the two-factor authentication. To secure your photos, documents, and other files, Google say users should log into their account at least once every 2 years.
Reviews called it the finest composition of music that ever was heard and an exquisite delight. I went to Abravanel Hall in Salt Lake City to show you how a nearly 300-year-old composition is still drawing crowds and asking them to sing along.
Music unites everybody.
Handel's Messiah.
It holds all of these classical traditions within it that so many people can identify with. Everybody knows the Hallelujah chorus. And this piece really was intended to have something for everybody in it.
Is a Christmas tradition.
It actually follows the story of Easter, actually, the resurrection mostly, but it is done mostly during Christmas, which is interesting. They sort of switched it from being during the Passion Week to being at Christmas, but I think that's stuck for good reason.
Handel wrote the Messiah in the summer of 1741 for a charity concert that would happen the next year. What he couldn't have foreseen was that it would become an annual tradition.
It has been such an encouragement to sing this music. There's so much going on in the world right now, so much unrest, so much division, and it's just so great to be a part of a piece and a work that celebrates hope.
Tyson is in his first year with Utah Opera.
And I've never seen a Messiah sing-along.
In a nearly 4-decade-old tradition at Salt Lake City's Abravanel Hall.
But when we make music together, it's something about unity that brings every single person together.
Something that I'm really proud of to be presenting tonight. To find community, and I think the Messiah Singing is a perfect example of just getting to make music with literally thousands of other people.
People are always looking for encouragement. People are always looking for hope. People are always looking for light in their lives, and I think Messiah and He Shall Reign Forever and Ever gives a lot of people light. They, experience ultimate joy getting a chance to sing those words, and they're timeless.
Tyson and Schofield are both new resident artists with Utah Opera. The program lets graduates get professional experience. Joining us is Noah Giles with ATV Sports.
Noah, what are some things that you have for us from sports today?
I mean, there's some basketball, a little bit of football, a little bit of volleyball, and we'll have that coming up.
Let's see if Levi can locate him on this drive. Levi looking right side, has to change his mind, chooses left, has strides and runs in.
I'll show you how this aspiring Navy SEAL balled out for the Aggies and won a Conference Player of the Week award.
Quick in the middle, the dig there by Cowie, that ball taken over. And that was
I'll show you if kills like that kept the volleyball team's 14-game winning streak alive. And after sports,
Your one-stop shop here.
We'll show you why these shoppers love this event so much.
It's not my first time bartending, so
It's a sausage party in here.
it's fun. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, because you're a sexy girl, Sam. Last thing,
Yeah.
is that the music, when Momo kicks it into high gear, is going to get a little bit loud in here. So your customers are going to have a hard time hearing you. So you may want to.
What?
The surplus store. Someone's trash is about to be my treasure. We have cords and cables here. We have bags full of towels and sheets. Do you want this fold-up mattress? Because we don't. We got keyboards, paint cans, whatever this is, typewriters, computer monitors. It's destiny on the line, and we want you at surplus. Products are not guaranteed to work. All sales are final. This commercial is not endorsed by Utah State.
West. But who does Zach Morris guard will be a big question. Royals is open, makes the grab. Royals on the near side. He has touchdown number 2.
USU wide receiver Jalen Royals is up to 14 touchdowns this year after scoring twice against New Mexico on Saturday, putting him at second in the nation. Welcome to ATV Sports. I'm Noah Giles. Let's get right into that game down in Albuquerque. We'll pick up the action right here in the first quarter with the Aggies up 7-0. Senior running back Andrew Henry catches the ball out of the backfield. Looks like it's going to be tackled for a loss, but he avoids a few defenders and then another one, weaving his way through the defense, and he goes all the way for a 64-yard score to tie the game. See here, diving into the end zone, little dance. Later in the game, USU's third-string quarterback, Levi Williams, fakes the handoff, goes right up the middle for the 29-yard score. But this game needed more than 4 quarters to find a winner. In overtime, Williams drops back and is immediately pressured, rolls to his left, scampers in for his second touchdown of the day. He ended the game with 153 rushing yards. On the following possession for the Lobos, freshman quarterback Devon Dampier runs this one off the left side, spinning around into the end zone to tie the game at 38. Following a New Mexico field goal, Williams drops the snap and then picks it up and in desperation evades a few defenders and rumbles his way into the end zone to end the game, giving the Aggies the win 44-41. Williams ended the game with over 350 total yards and 5 touchdowns. Williams was awarded Conference Player of the Week with his monster performance, and he says he's planning on foregoing his senior season to join the Navy SEALs. Anchors away, and we thank you for your service to USU football fans around the world, Levi. The women's basketball team played Warner Pacific on Saturday and came away with a win, putting them at 3-3 on the year. The men's basketball team beat St. Louis in Missouri last night, 81-76. The Aggies were led by Great Ozabor, who had 24 points and 13 rebounds. The women's volleyball team was in Las Vegas for the Mountain West tournament, where they took on Fresno State. We'll get right into the first set here with Fresno State up 25-24 as junior Brooke Cowie passes to senior Grace Doyle for the kill, and USU's Leah Wilton-LeBoy mishandles it, giving the Bulldogs the first set. Moving on to the second set with the Aggies playing for set point. Senior Beatriz Rodriguez sets it to senior Kennedy Boyd for the kill, but it gets saved by the defender, but the ball floats right back to Shelby Capion, who finishes the job as the Bulldogs can't handle it. The Aggies took the set 25-17. On to the third set with the Bulldogs serving for the set point. The Aggies get the ball to junior Adnan Mabenovic, who gets partially blocked, which leads to this kill for Fresno's Ella rude as the Aggies can't get there to save it. The Bulldogs took set 3, 25-18. Moving ahead to the fourth set, with the Aggies trying to keep that winning streak alive, Capion can't get too much power behind that hit, and the Bulldogs come back with a big hit from Jenna Legault, but USU freshman Cami Rodriguez digs it out for the Aggies, who then get it back to Capion, who gets partially blocked. The Bulldogs get the ball to sophomore Adna Haluska, who hits it off for the Aggie defenders for the upset of the Aggies, coming away with a win 3-1. Even with the loss, the Aggies were still invited to play in the NCAA tournament. They are a 6th seed and will face Minnesota on Friday. With Thanksgiving this last week and the holidays coming up, I chose to give some of our teams something that they were grateful for and a gift that I would give them for the holidays. Starting off with the football team, something that I think they should be grateful for are wide receivers Terrell Vaughn and Jalen Royals. Royals was named first team All-Mountain West, and Vaughn was made the second team. The two have combined for 149 catches, 1,870 yards receiving, and 24 touchdowns. With all the injuries at the quarterback position, these two have given whoever's throwing them the ball the easy targets. A present I would like to give to the football team: a win in their bowl game. The Aggies are bowl eligible with that win versus New Mexico and are waiting to see which game they get to play in. This will be the Aggies' 11th bowl game since 2011, and they have a 5-5 record in those games. Moving on to volleyball, something they should be grateful for is this senior class. The 7 seniors on the team accounted for just over 60% of the team's kills, 55% of the team's aces, and just under 45% of the team's assists. The Aggies had 3 players named to the All-Mountain West team, and head coach Rob Nelson was named Coach of the Year. The gift for the volleyball team: a win in the NCAA tournament. The Aggies made the tournament last year but got swept by Arkansas in the first round. This year they're a 6th seed and will face off against Minnesota on December 1st. Headed over to women's soccer, something they should be grateful for is head coach Manny Martins. Since Martins was hired in 2021, his teams have posted a 35, 19, and 12 record, including a win this year over number 1 ranked BYU. The Aggies also made an appearance in the NCAA tournament, where they lost in a rematch against those same BYU Cougars. What would I give to the soccer team for the holidays? Making sure Coach Manny Martins stays at USU. The Aggies won the Mountain West Conference tournament this year and had their most conference wins ever with 9, and a big part of that has been Martins at the helm. Those are the gifts that I would give to our Aggies. You're all caught up in sports. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Noah. For years, Cache Valley shoppers have been shopping small right after Thanksgiving. ATV's Morgan Perkins shows us this annual event that brings craft fans and craft makers together.
Candy, ornaments, and Santa.
You're so cute.
Build the Cache County Event Center.
It's so much fun just to see the people and see their excitement. You start feeling just those positive vibes of people getting excited for the holidays. And there's a wide variety of things here too, which is really nice.
Rings of dough and silver helped Novemberfest celebrate its 40th anniversary.
It's always been Black Friday and Saturday, so it's just you go to Thanksgiving and then you go to Novemberfest.
Markham and her family took over the festival 4 years ago.
We love Novemberfest. My husband and I would come, and we just, when the offer was presented to us, we were like, yeah, we'll do it.
With over 100 vendors, Novemberfest has a gift for everyone. If it's a local handmade wooden sign or treats that you can't wait to share with your family.
Yeah, I love Talking Rocks.
You know, if you come here, you're not supporting just like Walmart or Costco. Like, they're great, but just everyday people that are trying to get by and have your own business, like, they work so hard to make what they have, and it's just nice to support them.
Vendors welcome the face-to-face opportunity.
This is a time where we get to do it on our own and really interact with the people, and that's fun for us.
And shoppers, old and young,
Stay away from strangers.
are just happy to be here.
I love walking around, seeing people around the holidays. It just makes the spirit there, you know, seeing all the deals and buying the gifts in person rather than online and waiting for them to come in.
Morgan Perkins, ATV News.
Well, thanks for joining us on this edition of ATV News.
You can find this and other editions on our Facebook page.
We'll leave you with more of the choir at the Messiah singing.
Have a great week, Cache Valley.